conclude the rituals of the day before the sun sets.
But then look at that. Looks like that procession has increased speed, perhaps just trying to feed into what you're saying, that we can no longer waste time, just taking a cue of how much time the speeches did take at the university. But then, Job, what really do you draw from the speeches and what stood out for you? Because it really took quite the time. You were here at 9:15, you're leaving at 4:15 p.m.
Yes.
What stood out for you?
I like the way that the church gave the family and all those people who are cohorting with the Baba time. They made it very short, precise, good sermon from Bishop Wesonga. And then the family was given time. No one pushed them. The family had as much time as they could get to eulogize Baba and talk about him. And if you get the speeches from the family, each of them went about trying to bring out some virtue about Baba, now from a close and personal level. Most of them did not really talk about him as a politician, but just how whatever he was doing was affecting them, be it positively or negatively. And it was interesting to hear how the young Baba in school looked like. And this is what even Oburu said when he was in Nyayo. Baba used to be #1 in school. He never took injustice lying down. I like that case where when the mom had already asked for permission for them to be out of school and take care of their sisters, the teacher still went ahead to cane them, and Baba could not take it. So he refused to accept that caning, saying, you know what, you are going to cane me and cane me, but I knew my mom had told you that you are not coming to school. So I like that. That is the Baba we know.
Someone who really stood his ground.
He stood
and
his
this
ground,
feeds into the kind
give you a reason,
was.
a reason why he's taking that point. And then when he moved from the family, of course, Ruth had a very interesting one. Yeah, she took advantage of that occasion to tell us more about the people she cohorts with. And then now we move on to the rest of the politicians. I like also the fact that they gave the ODM party a good space to talk to their members, assure them on what's going to happen. And it became very interesting as to what the ODM top brass were saying. But generally they all agreed that broad-based is something that Baba left them in, and they're going to stick with it. Where I could feel a bit of difference was there one or two of them who are not so sure beyond 2027 that they want to stick with the president and whatever agreement that they're going to do. And then everybody trying to outdo each other to say how he was the chosen one by Baba.
The loyal one.
Yeah, that became very interesting. Those who never betrayed Baba, those who betrayed Baba, those to whom Baba was calling, and it was a very good spectacle. But the speeches were nice. Then I like the way that they recognize all the state, in fact, the arms of government. It was interesting that no one spoke on behalf of the judiciary. I don't know why, whether it was by omission or by design. But Baba, being Baba, somebody from the judiciary should have, at least even what he did as Prime Minister during the governance and justice and legal reforms, the GJA laws. Remember that period? I think you will know that because as your field, Baba did a lot of work for those judicial reforms. So somebody from the judiciary should have at least said something. Yes, but they didn't. And then now when they moved on, they invited the former deputies of Baba. The Kalonzo speech for me did not come out very well, in the sense that I'm not so sure, he was not so sure of what he wanted to say. Ended up saying that he has put something on X. Do
you feel as though it was just time constraints?
No, I don't think so. Kalonzo is a statesman. Kalonzo knows how to speak. Maybe he was torn between being the Kalonzo, the leader of the official, what do you call this thing? Or the people's opposition. And Kalonzo, he who has been a brother of Baba. Maybe he was not so sure of how he was going to balance that. So his speech didn't come out. he didn't say much about Baba.
Okay.
And I expected Kalonzo to say a lot about Baba.
Given he's really been very close,
yes.
especially in the political
so
life.
that's when you have gotten a miss from Kalonzo. Yeah, he didn't say a lot about Baba.
Okay.
Yeah, and he could have said so much.
Okay. Just before I come to Billy and for her to tell us what really stood out for her, perhaps just for our viewers, if you're joining us, what you're seeing right there on your screen are the live pictures from Bondo. That is just the convoy that is leaving the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology, where the funeral service had been happening, led by the interfaith, of course, of the Anglican Church of Kenya. Now that body is heading to Kango Kajaramogi, the final resting place of Raila Odinga. Before then, it had been at Opoda farm, where it was for the night vigil before coming to the university, and now it is heading to the final resting place. That is just the convoy leading the way as it heads over to Kango Kajaramogi. And what you're seeing is largely also what was witnessed early morning when it was leaving Opoda farm in slow procession, sometimes making it very quickly to just catch up with time. You are also seeing locals along the road, largely a bit different from how it was in Nairobi, because we are seeing largely peaceful crowds there, and you can remember that security agencies say that they are ensuring everything goes as per plan. Perhaps that's why you're seeing the kind of peace around that area. Just crowds sticking to their lanes, I can say. Maybe the walkways not coming at the center of the road, just sticking to the pedestrian walkways as the convoy uses the road coming all the way to Kango Kajaramogi. I understand that this is about a kilometer or two from the Jaramogi Oginga University of Science and Technology, that is just all the way to Kango Kajaramogi. This exercise was being led by the military. This is after the president announced that this is going to be a state funeral, so that's why you're seeing that convoy there, and they decided not to use, not to airlift as we had been seeing earlier, perhaps because it's just a short distance, and perhaps one last time on the road as it heads over to its final resting place. Just look at that, the large crowds, but again sticking to their lanes, which is quite interesting. You know, just allowing the convoy to move very quickly on that road. But even as you continue to see those pictures there, Millie, like I said, it was quite the ceremony there, and speeches came out, and political drumbeats again reverberated. A lot was said about the man that was Baba. But for you, in that entire speech, what really stood out?
Well, a number of things stood out for me. One, I think I particularly liked the fact that they tried to cover as many aspects of the Right Honourable's family as possible, the children, the grandchildren, the nieces, nephews. I know that Oburu's children did not speak, but they spoke at Nyayo. It is the son who read the eulogy, and he introduced his wives. So I think in the interest of time, they perhaps opted not to do that today. But the sisters introducing their children, allowing the children to speak, so that everybody, almost everybody who is concerned or related, because the late came from a pretty big family. At one time, people will remember we were joking about cousin, you know, the cousin aspect. So I'm sure if they went even to his mother's side of the family, it would have been impossible to cover all of them. But they tried to cover as much of that as possible, which is a good thing, because this is the only time we can allow the family some space to own Raila and to say bye-bye to him. I liked the various speeches. Of course, we had hoped that politics would be out of it for now, so that after Mashujaa Day, maybe from Tuesday, we can begin to talk politics. But I completely appreciate the fact that the ODM team decided that they must speak to some politics of the day, because the issues around ODM have been on for a while now. We know that people have been watching the Young Brigade, their seeming unrest or discontent with the direction the party was taken, the need for members, because some are not as senior as others, but have been speaking very strongly on behalf of the party, and particularly on the direction, even despite the fact that Baba had given direction as to what the party intends to do or is doing right now and will do going forward. So I think it's a good thing that they did come out as the leadership then to still show that strength of the party and the fact that the organs still remain there. I think that Governor Wanga did a brilliant job of reminding people of the various organs, including the fact that the first Secretary General of the ODM party, who helped shape that office of Secretary General, Anyang' Nyong'o, was there. So people can again put him in that caliber, because some may be wondering that he was the one who was appointed acting when Raila was making his bid for the AU, and now where exactly is he? Although of course we know he's in the neck. So it was good again to remind people that he has had very senior positions and plays a pivotal role in that capacity. I loved some of the words that consistently came out across all the speakers: the need for unity, the need for sobriety, as we discuss the politics going forward. I think that it was a good thing that Osotsi, deputy party leader, did. He spoke quite well and firmly to where the party needs to go, and you could see the maturity. You know, sometimes they say that when a parent dies, the children are forced to grow up quick, you know, and you could see that because Osotsi is not as seasoned in politics as some of the other leaders are, but he came out very, very well. The experts, the 5 of them, who also came to speak, I think spoke passionately and reassured the country of stability going forward, that they were not going to be shaken or confused, that they were going to continue to try and deliver as they were asked to go and deliver, because that is why the term experts came in. So I think it was a very good thing that they brought that out as well. So generally a beautiful send-off, worthy of a man the stature of Raila Amolo Odinga, and I think that his soul will be resting easier today.
All right. And what you're seeing right there, a bit earlier, the body has already arrived at the Kango Kajaramogi. That is the final resting place of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. President William Ruto, Dr. William Ruto, actually walking to the dais, being greeted by Ruth Odinga, Winnie Odinga as well. We are seeing Oburu Odinga also walking in. Remember that it has been announced that this will be a private burial, and not all locals or everyone who was present can fit inside the homestead. Perhaps why also the service had been set at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology to accommodate as many as it could, because then this is going to be a very private burial ceremony. Just the family as well as very few leaders who were present. That is the final resting place of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Remember that a bit earlier there had been talks and conversation on where exactly he should be laid. Some said next to his mother's grave, some had said next to his father. But remember, Oburu Odinga came to clarify, saying that he had seen the will, and what it had clearly stated is that Raila had said next to the parents, and this could either mean the father or the mother, and they chose that area. You also remember a bit earlier, Engineer Okechu had been spearheading this digging process of the gravesite, just highlighting the kind of technology that had been used in this, because remember, this is no ordinary man, as we say, someone who has shaped Kenya's history, particularly Kenya's political history. He has been at the forefront when it comes to the fight for multi-party democracy in the 80s and 90s, a man who had been at detention for about 6 to 7 years, just struggling for the same. And when he came out, as if you had thought that he was done, he went and vied for the Langata MP seat, a seat that he held for 20 years, and that's why you hear him most saying that saying as a long-serving member of parliament for Langata. He has also been at the forefront when it comes to the fight for constitutionalism. You can remember in 2005 when we had the yes and no side. But just before we get to continue perhaps unpacking the tributes that that streamed in a bit earlier, we just want to head over to Kango Kajaramogi, catch a glimpse of how events are unfolding there.